everybody, welcome to another adventure on Beth River Bassin. Today we're out here on Clear Lake, one of my favorite bodies of water. You guys can see, water's pretty low, still pretty clear. We're going to throw around some big worms today around those cypress trees on that side of the bank. We're getting a late start. It's about 9 o'clock, so we're going to fish on that shady side right there. And I got a feeling today we're going to run into some really nice fish. Hopefully we can catch a few big ones, and I hope you guys enjoy today's little adventure. Right over here at our first spot we're going to try. One of my favorite spots right here. The lake is super low. Today our main bait of choice is going to be this culprit tequila sunrise worm. I think it's a 10-inch. And we're also going to try out a little jig on a brand new rod. Right here we got this little jig, kind of bluegill looking color. And probably we're going to throw around all reliable wacky rig too. That's probably all we're really going to throw starting out. And if we see something different, then we'll kind of adjust from there. For some reason this little graph's not wanting to connect to the transducer. I'm not sure what's going on with it. We're going to get around right here and fish this little pointed trees right here. If you've watched some of my videos in the past, I've fished these trees pretty good. Looks like the water is super low. I can kind of see the bank up there. I was hoping there'd be some water running out up here. Sometimes when these farmers irrigate, there's water, but I think there was corn this year planted on the back side of this, and I think they've already cut it, so you're gonna have to fish around, try to find some fish. The water temp says it's 83. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but it's been hot. Water's super low. You guys can see off those cypress trees right there, but we're gonna make our way up here and start casting. Hopefully here in a few minutes we'll have our first fish of the morning. Oh God, missed it. It's our first bite right there. Couldn't tell how big he was though, but see if he's still in there. There's no wind or anything else. It's hot already. Shallow right here. Normally this about 5 feet deep where we're fishing, but as you guys can see back there, there's no water. There we go. Oh, the hook's at, but there we go. Finally. That's a nice little chunky guy right there. Come on. There we go. It's the first fish of the morning right here, y'all. We're about 200 or 300 yards down from where we started, going back the opposite way, and that's the first fish we've had. We've had 2 bites, and hopefully they get bigger from here, but that's a nice little Clear Lake bass right there. Pretty warm. Caught him off the front of those cypress trees right there. Give him a little kiss. Using this 10-inch tequila sunrise culprit worm. One of my favorite summertime worms to go in if I'm on the river or on any of these little lakes around here that I like to fish. It's my go-to color right here, especially during the summertime. I don't know, especially here in this lake, why they love it so much. I don't know if it's because it looks so much like a little bluegill or something down there swimming, but these fish here love it. And water's so dang low though. It's, if you guys can see right here on the front of these trees and stuff, it's about 2 feet low, so a lot of these times these trees right here, there'll be way more water on them, and I think that's why I'm having such a hard time finding fish on these trees. I was just about to swap up to the jig, and that guy picked it up. Probably gonna fish around a little bit more with the worm. I'm just trying to stay over here on the shady side just because it's So hot there's not one single cloud in the sky. No wind, but gonna make our way, keep going down this bank, and hopefully we can run into a big one, because I know they're here. We're just probably gonna be a slow grind today, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few fish where we have to go. There we go. Oh, just a little guy. Oh, splashed right into us. Come on, calm down, I'm gonna let you go, Guy hit it as soon as it hit the water. Ow. Came right off that little limb right beside that cypress tree. Smaller than that first one, but hard fighting little guy. I'm really hoping we'll run into some big ones, but I might have to go through some little ones first. We'll find an area that has some big ones here soon, hopefully. I'm looking for some of these little areas where there's little ditches that run out of the fields where the water would normally run out when they're irrigating. A lot of times those areas will hold the bigger fish. I'm not sure if they just know that water runs in there or something or what, but the first one we stopped at, there's not going to be any water running today, but just the first one we stopped at, the water was so low that normally where I catch the fish at, it was out of the water. We did have one bite there, but oh, there's another one. Oh man. Let's see if we can get this guy. We did have a bite there, though, like I was saying, and then it was just where the fish normally are in that area, there was no water. Alright, y'all, things are getting a little tough, so we broke out the old wacky rig. See if we can catch a few on this. Look at the wind starting to blow, so maybe that'll help the bite a little bit. Makes almost like a little current around these cypress trees. We're gonna fish with the wacky rig for a few minutes, see if we can get a few bites, and now we're gonna switch back to the 10-inch worm and see if we can hopefully land us a big one. Oh my god. Wasn't paying attention. I don't think he felt the hook. He didn't feel big, but we're struggling so bad. Through the jig around, through the wacky rig around. I didn't even get a bite on the wacky rig around the cypress tree. That's crazy. Not sure what these fish are doing, honestly. Water's so shallow. There we go. Not a bad one. Right off that cypress tree. God, that little guy's fat. Thank you, buddy. That may have been the one we missed right there just a minute ago, but threw back in there and that guy hit. That's a little chunky guy. He's been eating good. These fish are so pretty here. I love this little lake. I'm pretty sure that's the one we just missed. Lucky he was still sitting there, because I think that's fish number 3 this morning. Like I was saying, it's Been a slow grind. Haven't been able to get bit much. We've had a few bites, but I've had a few fish too just kind of like dump that worm a couple times and they don't hit it anymore, and I'll cast back in there and they won't hit it again. We had one knock slack into it, but I don't know if these fish are a little finicky, the world with this water being so low. But to being so low, I figured they would, be out on these deeper cypress. Oh, there's a big one. There's a big one. Oh my God. Not giant, but he's bigger. Get in here. Yeah. There we go. Spot lock on. God, he about jerked the rod out of my hands, y'all. That's the ones we want right there. That's a nice, about a 2-pounder. Gosh, I was just hopping that worm along. Like I was saying, felt like these fish should be on the ends of these cypress trees, and from what I've seen this morning, there's been tons of fish like splashing around back there, like almost right on the bank. And I don't know if they're pushing up little bait or what, or if they're even bass, but they've been all back there. So I haven't been scared to cast too far towards the bank, but mainly just trying to focus on the cypress trees that are in the little bit of deeper water, just because it's so shallow right now. But it's a good fish right there. Give it a kiss and let it go. Ooh, that was crazy. I wish I could have felt that bite. That was pretty cool. Just hopping that worm back, and all of a sudden he just like took off with it, almost like if you were like reeling in like a crankbait or something. That was pretty cool. Just fishing this big lake down right here. He's got a bunch of little branches that kind of extend out of the water, under the water I mean. I was just kind of hopping it along, and that guy absolutely destroyed it. It's weird how you can get to these parts on the lakes that, like, we fished, I don't know, hundreds of cypress trees already and had just a few bites, and then you get to one little small area. And that's kind of how it was earlier this morning when I caught those first two. They were like real close together. So maybe we just got to find like where they're grouped up a little bit better. Or maybe there's certain trees, or maybe this area has more bait than where we've been fishing. Who knows? But I'm kind of fan cast around this area some more and see if we can get us another big one like that. And hopefully that's not the biggest one we catch today. There we go. God. I expected there to be one sitting right there. Come on. I was checking to see if my camera was still on. And I looked down for a second. When I moved my rod, I felt pressure on it. Sitting right there on that little cypress limb right there. These fish are so random, y'all. Like, we've had a couple that have just, like, when I've cast up there to the tree, they'll just kind of pick it up, and then like when I get ready to set the hook, they just, sorry y'all, like I was saying, like we've had a couple up there when we throw the one up there on the tree, and then like when we get ready to set the hook after we get bit, they just drop it. It's like as soon as they feel any pressure or resistance back on the worm, they just drop it, and then you can throw back in there and they won't hit it again. It's weird. I've had that happen to us a couple times. And maybe though, like right now we're about to hopefully get bit again, because it seems like every time you catch one, there's another one like right with it, right close by. So let's see, that was just kind of like a random spot. I just literally dropped it down right there, y'all. There's just like, that's the end of the log right there. As you can see though, like just how shallow it is. right here. Like normally those cypress knees right there, they'll all be under water. You can kind of tell in the trees where the water is supposed to be. It's just so low. And the water's scared something. The water's not, it's 86 right now. It was 83 when we got here. I was expecting it to be in the low 90s, honestly. Just because how hot it's been and no rain. Oh, there's a good one. Oh, yes. Oh, there we go. There's another nice fish. I think he had me wrapped around a log or something. When I set the hook, it felt like he was way bigger than that. God, these fish are so chunky. Look how wide that fish is, y'all. Healthy fish. God, these fish fight so hard in this lake. They're so healthy too. Oh. Came right off. Felt like there was a log sitting there under the water. That guy was on the back side of it, I believe, because when I set the hook, like I was saying, he felt like he was bigger than that. I think my line's okay though. We got a little nick in it right here. Just that one kind of hit it differently than the other ones, though. That one was the first one that I've had that got it when the worm was being dragged. It's just getting hot as soon as you get in the sun, y'all. I was lying earlier when I said it wasn't that bad. I may change up the jig color or something like that. See if we can get a big one tossing a jig around these cypress trees. When I threw it this morning for about 30 minutes. There's one. A little guy. God, but look how fat he is. I tell you, these fish, they fight hard. They fight hard. And when they hit it even harder. Have to get the pliers on him. Get that out. Ow. Like I was saying earlier too, like when we get bit or catch one, normally there's another one close by. That guy's a little bit darker than that last one we just caught. About the average size we've caught this morning. Nothing to be proud of, but it still feels good to get bit, especially with how tough of a morning it's been. I really think if we could have got here first thing this morning, we would have had maybe a little bit better luck just fishing that little bit of earlier daytime before it got so hot. See if we can get one more fish on this worm. That wind kind of stopped blowing, and you can tell as soon as that wind stopped blowing, it got pretty hot again. Oh, catch up. Oh, God. That's the smallest one of the morning right there. Go. I couldn't tell if I had him or not. He was swimming straight to us. Yeah, still a little healthy fish. So far, every fish we caught has been super healthy. Everybody, we're getting ready to load up the boat right now. We're kind of in the truck cooling off a little bit. The truck said it's 104 outside. I'm not sure if that's the exact temp or not. It's just, truck been sitting in the sun all morning, but we fished for about 4.5, 5 hours, and it wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. I was hoping we were going to get out here and tear them up. You know, I was hoping it was going to be every tree we were going to catch a giant, but that's not how it worked out. The lake is super low, probably like 2 or 3 feet low, maybe even more than that. And the water's not too hot like I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be in the low 90s, but it's actually like in the mid 80s, so that wasn't too bad. I think just the lake being real low, and then today it was just hot, bluebird skies, hardly any wind. I think that just had a little bit of played a little bit of a factor when we were out here trying to catch these fish. But if you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And once again, thank you for watching, and be on the lookout for future content.